everyone, welcome back to Second Chance Exotics, and if this is your first time, welcome. Today we are going to be talking about golden millipedes. They are the inspo for my look. I don't know any makeup people on there. No? You think I smeared stuff on me? That's cool too. It's what I basically did. Anyways, so golden millipedes. They are called golden millipedes because they have gold and chocolate stripes going down them. They're super cute. It's mainly like a yellow and brown, but I just love gold and chocolate as a description. These guys, their scientific name is Arthroporus ornatus. I'm gonna put it right here because I'm probably saying it like all butchered and whatnot. So there you go. I will also be showing you them. I guess I can show you them right now. Okay, so are you ready? Are you ready? So one of my millipedes, he's all curled up and chilling, so I didn't want to bother him. That's also another thing you should know. Just don't bother them if they're curled up in little balls, or don't like try and dig around for them. This guy, I have two, they're both boys, thing one and thing two. Thing one, he totally is so much more active than thing two. You see his golden chocolate, and then you see his legs. I hope that's giving you a good view of him. Yeah, they're super cool. Okay, so let's get on to fun facts about them. These guys are from North America, so you will find them in Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, and sometimes in Mexico as well. These guys are they are nocturnal. They from like smallest recorded length to longest, they can get between 3 and 8 inches. The average is usually 4 to 5 inches, and 7 to 10 year range. A lot of places and people and websites were saying that they live 10 plus years. A lot of other like pet stores and stuff were saying like 3 to 5 years. So I would say 7 to 10 if you're keeping them nicely. If you get them from a good breeder and you know what to do, they'll live a long time for you. I've had my guys for about a year. I don't know how old they were when we got them. They did grow a bit, so that doesn't help. But never mind, that doesn't help. I was gonna say like they were under a year then, but I don't know. But yeah. So let's get on to their substrate, because their substrate is like top tier. So like as importance. So their substrate, you can actually go on like Josh's Frogs or Amazon or something and get pre-made millipede substrate. The reason why they have pre-made stuff and like specifically for millipedes and not like isopods. I don't know if isopods would have the same thing. Maybe. But basically, millipedes, they live, they drink, they eat, they dig. Their life is their substrate. They burrow, right, dig. Anyways, so yeah, everything they do is going to be in their substrate. So you need to provide them with like calcium, with rotting wood, decaying leaves, and stuff like that. Because that's what they're going to be eating, that's what they're going to be enjoying, that's what they're going to live in. So literally everything. So yeah, it's really important. Some people make their own. I just add to the Josh's Frog mix. I'll put that in the description below so you can go find it. And then also I'll attach their care guide as well. But yeah, so they're, yeah, like I was saying, they have like calcium and rotting wood and decaying leaves and all that stuff. So yes, they do eat that. And as far as drinking, like I said, I misted them earlier. I would suggest misting them once a day and keeping some sphagnum moss or terrarium moss in their enclosure so that can absorb some of the liquid, so they can drink it throughout the day. Try and make sure that their humidity stays stable. I would say like 60 to like 80%, but also have like a little dry out period. just because with these specific guys, you need to look at each millipede, where they come from, their origins, and what their natural environment is like. So like, you know, like in Texas, I'm gonna say Texas because that's where I'm from. Like in Texas, like between like 12 and 4 p.m. it's pretty dry, it's pretty hot. So just trying to mimic that environment for them is really important. So feeding, yeah, these guys aren't picky. You can feed them apples and bananas and potatoes. Potatoes are really good because they tend to just shrivel up whenever they start to get bad. They don't really like get moldy and stuff, and that's another thing you have to watch out for. As soon as these guys, well, as soon as that fruit or vegetable that you put in there starts going bad, you should take it out just so it doesn't mold in their enclosure. But yeah, that's what they eat. And again, like spraying their enclosure, try and spray the enclosure at least once a day. I do mine in the morning, and occasionally I'll do it at night if I notice that the substrate looks a little dry. Oh, and something I forgot to mention for substrate, I change out my substrate every month, but every 2 weeks I take out about half the substrate and put in my own little mix, which is either crushed eggshells from like chicken eggs, or I put calcium powder as their source of calcium, and then I put Force Floor. I don't know what brand it's by, but it's like the reptile substrate. I put some of that in there, and then I put cocoa fibers, and I mix that together, and I put that in there, and then I get some crushed up leaves. I usually get the leaves whenever I buy the Millipede substrate mix, and then I just add more leaves to that mix in because I do put in some of my own. Because the Millipede mix, I will not lie, it's a bit expensive, but it's just because like it's a process to get rotting wood and decaying leaves and all that stuff. So if you want to do it yourself, I would definitely suggest researching that, because there's just so many, especially when you live in city limits and stuff, there's just like a bunch of like car fumes and stuff that can get onto your plants, and like pesticides and whatnot. So I'd be like extra careful about that. I just don't feel comfortable doing that, so I buy the pre-made mix and then make a little bit from my own concoction. Okay, so behavior. As you can tell, this guy is super gentle, super chill and peaceful. They're really good. They don't bite. They have little mandibles, so it might feel like they're like tickling you a bit, but it's not a bite. It doesn't like break skin or anything like that. It does feel a little weird. The legs on your skin do feel a little weird at first, but just look how awesome they are. Look at those. Look at that awesomeness. Anyways, whenever you're handling them, just make sure that you're not being very, just be very gentle with them, because they do have such little bitty legs, and they are little themselves. It could be really easy to break their legs, and it could be really easy for them to fall. They do have all these legs, but they're not like sticky or anything. They can fall pretty easily, and it's super scary. You don't want that to happen. But yeah. Oh, and fun fact. You want a fun fact? So, there's common hosts that are symbiotic on your millipede that stay towards the bottom of them. They actually eat waste and other food particles that get stuck in your millipede's legs. They're symbiotic mites. Mites sound so scary, but they're fine. They're there to help. It's like those fish that like hang on to sharks' mouths and eat the rotting stuff, or like the extra food that falls off. And we also have little, like, I don't know what they are. I'm not an expert, but we have little living organisms on our eyelashes that help keep our eyelashes clean. Did you know that? Fun facts everywhere now. Okay, so let's get on to habitat. I'm going to put him down for a second, and I'm just going to show you my habitat and just tell you about what's in there, and then just give you like a brief overview about like temperature and humidity and whatnot. Okay, so I have my guys in a critter keeper. So this is that dude. I'm sorry I didn't clean all the plastic very well, but this is their enclosure. They have a lot of mini pots. It was like a 4-pack of these mini pots for like $1 at the dollar store. Sorry, I'm trying to hide my face. But yeah, so I got these huge leaves. I don't know what they are, I'm so sorry. But this huge leaf right here, I had a whole bag of them from a reptile expo, and that's like something I miss from reptile expos is I usually get all their stuff from there, but I ordered some stuff from Josh's Frogs, but Josh's Frogs is really good. And like I said, I'll leave a link for that down below. But after this whole thing's over, after this pandemic is over, you should totally think about getting your millipedes from a reptile expo. I think that would be a really great place to go get them, and also you can pick them yourself versus like going online and then just having one random one shipped to you. Another thing is, I told you that both of my millipedes are boys, so they are actually missing, the way you know that is, they actually are missing their 7th leg, and in that spot they have like smaller legs, and it's kind of like a dark segment on them. You can really see it if you put them in the bottom of like a plastic container, like a clear plastic container, and look up at them, or if you just want to like hold them and like let them climb up your hand and then like turn them a bit if you're at an expo or something and you want to find out right then and there. I think it should work. I do have golden millipedes, so it is easier to see. I don't know, like certain other species that are darker, it might be harder to see, or it might just be a different color that is still noticeable. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so yes, habitat. Oh wait, I didn't really show you. Okay, so this guy. I like the substrate, and just in general, the substrate should be between like 4 to 6 inches. It should technically be the size of your millipede, so that's why I stick with, I think this is 5.5, and my biggest guy is 5. So yeah, I think it's better like that, because like I said, their substrate is where they're going to be digging in, living in, eating, drinking, like all that stuff. It's very fundamental to them. It's where they're going to be getting their source of calcium, so just put as much of it as you can in there. I also have this piece of decaying wood that I put in there. It's all the way at the bottom, so I don't know if they like would munch on it underneath, but Thing 1 really likes to just like chill on there, and he likes to get his water from there whenever I like spray their enclosure down. But yeah, just because they're millipedes doesn't mean like you can't give them a cute setup, and you can totally do bare minimum too, because they would be totally fine with just the wood, the leaves, and the moss on this side, and that's all they really need. I just added some other gardening stuff, and I do notice that Thing 2 really does like the pots. He does like to curl up and stay in those pots a lot, so that's fun. I enjoy that for them. So yeah, and I think we covered everything. No, we didn't. Temperature. They're pretty good with room temperature. Temperature between 72 and 78 is ideal for them. Try not to go above 80. If you live in a cooler climate, then a heat mat might be a necessity for you. When purchasing stuff for your millipedes, I would say that is optional, but if you're in cooler climates or something and you want to get that because you know that your house is going to be below 72, then totally. So I really want to get bumblebee millipedes, ivory millipedes, and there's these rainbow millipedes, or they're called rainbow Vietnamese millipedes. They're easier to get in the UK, and I see a bunch of Instagrammers being like, hey, look at my new millipede, and I'm like, I hate you, they're so pretty. And then I found some that are called like pink-footed. I'm not sure that much, but like, I'm not sure if it's like pink-footed or like pink-legged, I don't know. But those look really cool too. So I'm definitely going to be going deeper into researching millipedes, but I hope this was somewhat informational for you. Hopefully it helps you if you're looking to get a millipede or if you have one and had any questions or anything. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video.